Yo, what's going on, guys? How you doing? All right, all right, all right. Happy Monday, everybody. How y'all doing? What's up, Alex? How's it going, buddy? Trade Intuition, good to see you again, man. Bearded, what's going on? Turtle, good to see you. Welcome back, Bearded. What's up, Bull Runner? How's it going? All right. So I just threw a trade up on there. I took most of the profit out of it, but just simple break of structure on the 5-minute out of the golden pocket tap key level. Came up, broke out here. I entered, took most of my profit this morning on this 5-minute break. Took some and then took another bit of profit here. And just leaving a little runner here due to 4-hour market structure. So figured it'd be fun just to have that up on the screen. Let's see. And let's jump into it. All right. So, on the 4-hour, we were talking about how we still have our 4-hour, this is an old chart, still have our 4-hour strong low here. I'm sorry, no, that was right. Jeez, I'm going to have to clear everything. It's annoying. Okay. So our 4-hour strong low is still here after this break of structure here. Now, we have recently flipped 5-minute structure back bullish. And sorry, this music is distracting. One sec. All right. So on the 15-minute, we flipped it back bullish after that break of structure last night. We had a bearish break of structure here. We came back up. We flipped the 15 bullish again. We do have our 15-minute strong low sitting. I'm sorry. Yeah, sitting right here at about 11,706. And we were correcting on smaller time frames ever since that break of structure here earlier this morning. But recently, we did actually get a market structure flip here, where we did break the 5-minute back bullish after setting a low, setting a high, breaking that low, or breaking that high. So we are back bullish on the 5-minute with our relevant low down here. It looks like we're coming into some key fib levels here. My stop loss for this long, the runner for this long, is going to be at the 15-minute market structure breakdown here. So we may get stopped out if we come for that. It looks like right now, let's see, we are kind of a carriage. We're failing to hold this trend line that we kind of faked out last night and reclaimed. Looks like we're coming down. We are coming down to like a nice confluence with our 786 and this demand here. We do have to keep in mind that since the 5 minute is now bullish, that means the 5 minutes bullish, the 15 minutes bullish, the 1 hour is bullish, and the 4 hours bullish, and the 12 hours bullish, right? So these are those situations when you do, if you are long, you can just leave a runner, right? We would expect this liquidity to get taken. So there's a lot of exit liquidity in the highs here. So we didn't quite take the high when we came up here, which means there's now stop losses from the shorts here as well as back here, and then not too far away is another pivot on a smaller time frame, right? But so that's where my take profit is on the trade. It's going to be at this liquidity level, this 4 hour week high, right? I would expect that we would come for that as long as we don't break this strong low, right? 109,300 still our relevant strong low. So what we were talking about on the stream last night was flipping the 1 hour back bullish after the bearish break up here, right? So you lose 1 hour structure here, you set a high, you set a new low, you come back, you break that high. So now the 1 hour has flipped bullish again, and we did set a low after we kind of mitigated previous highs, right? Then we set a low, we set a high. So not only is this the 15-minute strong low, it's also now a 1 hour strong low. Are getting like this sort of head and shoulders posturing here, but really no significant breaks of structure on any relevant time frames yet. Our 5 minute just flipped back bullish. So really the key level that you should have marked out on your chart is going to be here, because that would be losing your 1 hour and your 15 minute. That's going to be like 111,713. So you can set your alert. Be like Bitcoin bear break. And that would be 15 minute plus 1 hour bear break. But as long as we don't hold that level, we would just assume that we're going to continue to attack weak highs, right? So that would take us back up to basically 113.5. Now, if we do break bearishly, we are just looking for a pullback, right, until we break this 4 hour low. So what would we be waiting for then? We'd be waiting for some sort of pullback, maybe into this level here, or maybe mitigating the demand that we were talking about yesterday. I would think that it would probably be from this middle of the range demand block here. But what we'd be looking for coming into that would be some sort. All right, I got to clean this chart up. I can't see anything. Hold on. All right, yeah, so what we'd be looking for is some sort of like 15-minute market structure break coming down here. If we do get that, I would be entering a new long if I get stopped out of this one, and I will signal that in the Discord because, again, we're just following the 4 hour trend, right? We're just continuing to ride the trend up. Let's take a look at our oscillators here for a second. So if we look at our daily, we're continuing to push up. We do want to see that. I do like this VWAP continuation posturing back to the upside. If we look at, let's go over here. Let's go to 12 hour. If we look at the 12 hour, the 12 hour looks really nice, right? So we have our EMA band crunching back up, right? About to cross positive, which is great. We got our rejection from the top of the band as we would expect. Came back down, found support, and now we're pushing up. So yeah, the 12 hour looks really good. Money flow is coming back in aggressively. We want to see that daily money flow start to round up, right? It's still kind of pulling out. We got our 2-day green dot. Looks like we're going to get a 3-day green dot in about a day or so if we continue to push up. We're trying to reclaim that range, about 112,000, which is nice. If we do hold up here, we could see rotation back to that golden pocket we were talking about around like 118, which would be quite a good move here. So there is a lot of good things going on right now in the chart, right? As long as we don't lose any of these key levels, your assumption should be it's just going to continue to be either slow or fast grind up. I know a lot of people are talking about a lot of shorts in the market. It's a possible short squeeze, right? But basically that would just be what we're looking for, like a golden bull run up to the golden pocket. What happens there, we'll have to watch 4 hour market structure, of course, but assuming 4 hour market structure doesn't break, it'd still be coming for this like liquidity golden pocket target. And then we'll assess market structure from there. We do still need to flip our daily back bullish, right? Our daily is still bearish, and there isn't really any daily market structure highs coming down in here, so our daily high is still going to be up here. We did have the bearish break, so we're in kind of a weird situation on the price, right? Because we have the weekly in a uptrend, the daily in a downtrend, and the 4 hour now in an uptrend. Now, that obviously is the starting criteria to get into that daily break of structure back bullish, right? Your 4 hour leading. But one thing that we can look at to have a little bit of a clue is what we were looking at down here, right? Which is that when we broke our 4 hour back bullish, we also broke our 12 hour back bullish, which is obviously a really good sign, especially since we didn't have any daily highs coming back down here. 12 hours is the closest we can get. And we were also looking at, let me pull up a different chart here. Okay, yeah, so kind of this descending broadening wedge here. Depending on how you draw it, right, looks like we are breaking out of this descending broadening wedge, which is good. It's kind of holding at the lows all the way down. This is the pattern we were looking at on yesterday's stream. Now, we do want to see us hold outside of this pattern, and we want to see us keep the, so I like how we've tested the 200. Right, so the 50 is under the 200, so we would expect rejections above the 200, right? But how do we flip that situation, right? You flip that situation by flipping the 50 EMA to support, and then finally getting above and holding above the 200. That will pull your 100 above your your 50 above your 200, giving you a nice setup for bullish continuation. And then you'd just be looking to buy the retest underneath the 200, right? Kind of similar to what happened back here, right? 50 crosses above the 200, buy the retest of the 200. Right, over and over again, right? By the retest of the 200, 50 crosses over. So you might have a nice trend entry coming soon on Bitcoin, so definitely keep an eye of that. Breaking out of this pattern, we have mitigated most of the stuff on the way up. We do just have kind of this area of resistance here, like 114,500. After we get above that, we might have a little bit of resistance at 116.5, but then it's going to be pretty clear to our golden pocket target area. So these would be two areas that you might consider taking some profit. If you are in some like swing longs from this 4 hour break structure down here, would be a nice place to consider taking a little bit of profit. All right, we got a lot of more people coming in here. What's going on, Barb? Good to see you. Kango, good to see you, man. Dutchy, what's going on? Wayne Mack, how is the daily structure still bearish? So from a structure perspective, the daily structure flipped bearish after we SFP'd this high. And then we broke structure at the lows. Right? So this is like, if this chart looked like this upside down, I'd be telling you to long the heck out of this, right? This is generally a really strong pattern. We call this the JPAL pattern because it prints, right? But yeah, the problem is that it doesn't align with our weekly right now. So that's why it's a little bit of caution on the bearish side. So that's why the daily is still bearish. So we would have to come back above this high to flip the daily back bullish. All right. What's up, Harry Potter? Good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. All right. So that's the basics on Bitcoin here. Really, just understand the key levels to watch is going to be 109,300 for your 4 hour break of structure, and then on your 1 hour, the key level to watch is going to be down here at like 111,800. If you lose that, you're just looking for a 15-minute break of structure somewhere down here to enter a long, right? Obviously, the deeper the better. You have this nice demand block here, and you have this nice decision block here. So in one of those two locations, I would anticipate a break of structure, rotate back to the highs. All right, let's take a look at ETH. All right, so has ETH broken structure yet? No, we still have not broke 4 hour structure. Continues to just trade sideways in this range, kind of sticking to the bottom of the range. Man, what boring price action for ETH, right? Compare that to something like Solana. So if you watched yesterday's stream, so we talked about how there's some coins that are ahead of others, right? We talked about Sui being ahead and being ready to be longed. We talked about Sol being ready to be longed. And we talked about how ETH is not ready yet. It still has more work to do. And that continues, and the price level is still the same. You still want to see ETH break above, like basically 4,500 to change that 4-hour market structure, and then you can scalp long with structure or with whatever scalping strategy you use after it's done that, similar to what you see on like Sol. All right, so Sol broke 4-hour here, we retraced down, and then it was good to go on longs, right? Which is nice. It also broke 1 hour last night. We were talking about right here, right? Break 1 hour, and then up you go on the long. Speaking of Sol here, so there is a little bit of caution here. So we did sweep the high, set a low here after coming up. So if we do break, we're SFPing it right now, but if we do break this, we would break structure bearishly. So just something to keep in mind. But I would anticipate a bounce at key bounce levels like this block here. That'd be the next area that I'd be looking at. Kind of like that 209 level, which we really want to see support found at 209. So if we do break structure, if we don't, you can just expect continuation, right? But if we do break structure, you'd be looking for a long down here to ride back up to the liquidities and the highs and push up to like 224. I got distracted. Back to ETH. To be honest with you, everything on ETH is the exact same as we've been saying for weeks. So, or what feels like weeks, right? But probably just like a week or two. But you still have to break structure up here, 4,500. Otherwise, the key levels below us that you're looking at is still like 3,900 to 3,800. And then this special decision block here, like 3,727 to 3,550. So I don't really think I need to go over ETH because ETH still hasn't done anything. You're still just waiting for it to break 4-hour structure at 4,500. If you guys want any altcoins for me to go over, you can go ahead and throw those in chat. We'll go over them. But the point that I was making was showing you guys Sol and showing you guys something like Sui, right? Is once they have bullish 4-hour structure, you understand why longing this last night, like we were talking about, or longing this last night, like we were talking about, it's not random, right? It's not random that these coins went up and ETH went sideways and down. That's not random. That's market structure. It's because ETH still has more work to do, and coins like Sol and coins like Sui had already put in that work. So if you were going to scalp long something that wasn't Bitcoin, then that scalp long should have been something with bullish 4-hour market structure. Put a 1 in chat if that makes sense. I better see a lot of 1s, guys. I know you guys know this. All right. Yeah, let's see. Thanks, Dutchy. Appreciate it, bro. All right. Aave. Yeah, we can take a look at Aave. Let me answer Bearded's question first. So when do you trust that the work has been done? When the 4-hour market structure breaks. So this is the exact reason that we're looking for 4,500 to break on the 4-hour. It's because Sol and Sui already broke 4-hour structure respectively. So if we look at Sol, it flipped its 4-hour back bullish over here, and it never lost it on the way down. So you would be expecting once the 15-minute or the 1-hour aligns with the 4-hour for continuation up to the week highs. Right, which we broke. So now your 4-hour market structure is down here. Similarly with Sui, we had a 4-hour market structure break here. We never lost it bearishly. We would just expect continuation, continuing to take out weak highs. And your 4-hour low is now here, right? But basically, you would trust the work has been done until or once the 4-hour market structure is broken. And that can happen I mean, even if we take out this low now, it would still be basically right here. But if we take out this low, set a new high, take out that low, then take out that high, then maybe the market structure move down. But right now, it looks like it's going to be this $4,500 level, unless Bitcoin's going to correct big. So generally, what I like to teach and what I think is safest is to trade in the direction of 4-hour market structure when your 15-minute and your 1-hour time frame align with your 4-hour. So that's going to be like intraday trading or like day trading, right? Generally, you want to be trading coins that their weekly and their daily is also in an uptrend. And that way you can use your 4-hour as your bias time frame and like your 15-minute as your entry time frame. And as long as you understand the structure rules that you're trading, you should be on the right direction of the trade to like leave a runner and catch that bigger 4-hour move, that bigger 4-hour trend. Yeah. Okay, cool. I didn't forget. We're going to Ave. Of course, man. No problem. Okay. I'm going to start over on this. Okay. So our daily is still bullish on Ave, which is nice. Love to see it. You have your day. It looks like it might even be a. Oh, that's loud. Hold on. Looks like it might even be. So you have your daily strong low here at 275. So if you're just looking to hop on the daily trend right now, you have like a 3-to-1 back to the highs, which is nice. But we can do better than that, right? We can zoom in and we can understand that we have a daily order block right here. That's likely going to get revisited. This is a breaker block, right? So have that in mind. If we look at the 4-hour, 4-hour death cross, be a little weary of that. We want to see this saved. We want to see this come back in. So currently we are under bearish market structure on the 4-hour, which just generates an opportunity, right? So we know that our daily market structure is bullish on Ave. So what are we waiting for now? We're waiting for like a bias time frame to flip to bullish as well. That's how you catch the bottoms, right? Like on Bitcoin, that's how we caught our longs down here. So you want to make sure that you're catching when the 4-hour flips back bullish. And what's really nice here is that Ave set us a nice 4-hour high for us to break here, right? Because we pulled the low. Actually, that's not true. Hold on. We had this low. We didn't set a high after that. Yeah, I'll tell you what I see. This is what I see. Down, up, break of structure, rotate back to the highs. Stop out all of the longs with stop losses in here. Grab that liquidity. Because otherwise, currently to change 4-hour structure bullish, we have to break this high. Which that's a massive stop loss. You're going to have to use like 1-hour market structure on a correction to get a stop loss that makes it worth it to target this week high. So not only does Ave have more work to do on the 4-hour, I think there's a much better setup if you wait for a tap of this daily order block around like 293-ish. So if you wait for 293-ish to come down, that would, since we take out that low, that would make this our 4-hour high. Then you can break 4-hour market structure, get long, and take it up. That's what I see. Awesome. You already had that level. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, 293 is what I see. And be a little more patient. Alternatively, you're just waiting, right? What are you waiting for? You're waiting for 4-hour to break structure here. And then you're waiting for some sort of retracement that makes the risk to reward make sense to target this high up here. And if you get that, you can get long. Otherwise, I'd look at some of those other coins we talked about. Your SUIs, your SOL, your Bitcoin, right? Anything that's in a 4-hour uptrend, I would look to long that over this. It still has more work to do. Cool. All right. What was the next one? Yeah, Kim, you're good as long as 275 doesn't break. I know you have that lower leverage stuff, so you break 275, I'd probably close your long. Otherwise, you're good. Not like an SFP either, like a daily close under there. I'd close it. Otherwise, I think you're at a pretty good level to start building like a low leverage long. You're at like the 786 of a daily uptrend, so not too bad. I can see why you're long. Okay. H bar, yeah. Look at H bar and then radium. $249. You mean sweep this low? Yeah, so I think if you break daily market structure, this isn't really relevant to the trade that you're in right now, but just to, I don't know when you're going to ask me to look at it again, but if you break daily market structure here and you don't SFP out of this demand, I would expect you to SFP out of this demand if it's going to go higher. So like if it does break this, SFP reclaim and then go. If you don't, I don't think this is going to be sufficient. I think you're going to have to come here. But of course, you would just wait to see if you get a structure breakdown there, and then I just wouldn't like set it and forget it order there on your daily bearish market structure. I think here would be better. Okay. Well, our trade on H-bar from forever ago finally filled. Let's take a look. You pull the low, you set a high. Now you're trying to break. Oh, okay. Interesting. Good call looking at this one. So you actually just broke your 4-hour market structure bullish. Yeah, Kim, I'll get to Sol. So H-bar just broke your market structure bullish on the 4-hour. What does that mean? That means it's good to look for longs, right? You can look for longs and you can leave runners on your longs to try to make a new rotation up to the high. I like the level where it bounced from. We've been waiting for this level for a very long time. And getting a 4-hour market structure break out of there is awesome. It's really awesome. Okay. Let's zoom in. So we set a new 1-hour low. What is this range here? I might have a play for you. 2% range. Where's our next real resistance? Up here. What's that RR? Like 2 to 1, and like 4 to 1. Okay, so there's a couple ways that I would play this. So the first way that I would play this is if we don't break 1-hour market structure, which right now our 1-hour strong low is down here. This looks like a 382 bounce after breaking 4-hour structure. Maybe it's a 0.5. Yeah, it's a 0.5. Or no, yeah, 382. That's what I thought. Okay, so there's a couple ways that I would play this. So you can wait for the 1 hour to break structure here at the top, and you can get an entry on that with your stop loss underneath the new 1 hour strong low. Take profit 1 is going to be at a 2-to-1, kind of at these previous lows. And then you're looking to run it up to like different liquidity targets. But ultimately, you're just getting in on this 4 hour trend. Now, that entry is only good if H bar comes up on the 1 hour and breaks this before taking out this low. If that happens, then you can take an entry on the 1 hour break of structure, stop loss below the strong low, targeting these upper targets. Now, on the if we have to come down more, we can look for smaller structure breaks coming down. Now, the same way that the 50 crosses the 200 here, and you buy underneath the 200, buy underneath the 200, right? We just had that opportunity again on the 1 hour. So you see on the 1 hour, the 50 just crossed above the 200. So a good way to get in on this new golden cross 1 hour trend, right, would be to wait for the price to come back under the 200 and get a structure breakdown there. I would even take like 5 minute, right, 5 minute structure breakdown underneath the 200. And you could get in that for a nice move up. That would be another way that I would play this. So you can set an alert on your 200 EMA for the price to come underneath that, and then you can wait for 5 hour structure or 5 minute structure there and use that to get in. You also have like this nice order block confluence down here, but it looks like it might just give you that 1 hour break now, and then you can just do the first trade. But yeah, I think H bar looks really good. I really like the level that it came down to. We've been waiting for this level for a while. I like it. I do. I like it. I think H bar looks good. Do I think H bar will range here for a while? I mean, it's in a brand new 4 hour uptrend, so I would assume that it would continue to make new highs on the 4 hour, but we'll see. All right. Radium. Oh, I haven't looked at Radium since Radium was at the lows around like $2. Let's take a look at Radium. Man, it's not even on Binance Perps anymore. Okay. So, Radium. Break structure bearish there. Set a high. Set a high. Break it back bullish. Break it bearish. Break it bullish again. Okay, so you're under bullish daily market structure with a strong daily low down here at like 243. Looks like you're kind of bouncing from like 0.5 maybe. If we zoom into our 4 hour. Oh, one thing to point out. I really like this. I really like the daily golden cross. If we come down underneath this daily 200, this is going to be, if you were here for the soul setup, this is going to be exactly like the soul setup. All right, assuming you hold daily market structure, coming under here is a great entry to this new uptrend on the daily. But zooming in, let's take a look. Ooh, nice entries underneath the 4 hour 200 as well. Yeah, this looks good. So your 4 hour low is here. You're still under bullish market structure on your 4 hour, with your 4 hour strong low being down here. Looks like you're bouncing from first your 886, now your 786, golden pocket-ish area. So we have to zoom in to get structure since our 4 hour is already bullish. So our 1 hour broke back bullish here, and it's kind of been off to the races ever since. So you break your 1 hour bullish here, everyone's hopping in, probably because of that daily golden cross. I would imagine it's getting a lot of attention. Let's take a look at our indicators here. I don't care about that. Okay. Yeah, indicators are looking quite bullish. Nice, nice looking Market Cipher on the daily. Yeah, I mean, Sol's having its run. I would anticipate that Sol coins like Radium are gonna do well. I mean, Radium is the DEX for Sol, so if Sol is coming back, imagine the Radium's gonna be all right. Kind of like a mini Jesus take the wheel, right, on the daily. It's interesting. All right. Inward curvature on the 4-hour. These RSIs are a little worrisome, a little gapped, but I would just look at structure, say, hey, as long as this 1-hour uptrend doesn't break, I know the 1 hour is bullish, the daily is bullish, and the 4 hour is bullish. It's pretty bullish, right? So I'd be looking for longs. Obviously, coming down to mitigate this would be good. So we know that have we pulled that high? So we haven't. So the bearish scenario is going to be pulling this high and then breaking this low. But so if that happens, what are we waiting for? So if you pull this high and then break this low here, you're probably coming back down to the 50 EMA. And if you do that, you want to just look for like a I would say like 5-minute or 15-minute market structure break at this 50 EMA as an entry back in. Otherwise, the exact same trade that we were just looking at on Aave, if you close above here on the 1 hour, you can take this trade targeting the 4-hour week high. That's a 10-to-1 trade. You'd wait for the 1 hour to close above. You'd enter, stop loss underneath the strong lows. That's a 10-to-1. Otherwise, I'd look for a 5-minute market structure break coming down. Get in there, stop loss under there. Again, targeting the 4-hour week highs. I think that Radium looks really good. Thanks for asking about it. Good job, Ano Pancho. Okay. I want to long. Oh, yeah, Sol. Yeah, let's look at Sol. Okay. So, Solana. Looks good. We were talking about yesterday how we had this 1 hour break of structure and how it looked really good and how you could look for a retest of previous highs to come up. It looks like we blew that target away, as we would expect with a 4-hour bullishness. We actually looked at Solana earlier. So if you missed it on the stream, I think it was like the third coin that we looked at. Basically, as long as, what is this? As long as 214 basically holds, I would expect continuation up to 224. If 213 breaks... 214. If 214 breaks on like a 1 hour close basis, then I would just be looking for a 15-minute market structure shift down here around like 209. Around like 209-ish. That's what I see. So yeah. How can you trade that? I mean, you can do the same thing that we were doing on these other coins, right? You can wait for the 1 hour break. Stop loss underneath the low. If you get it's a 2-to-1. It's doable, yeah. You take that trade, or you can wait for the retrace back to like 209. If 209 holds and you get like a 5-minute market structure breakdown there, I mean, that's like a 14-to-1 trade. Who wouldn't take that, right? Cool. All right, did I miss anyone? Is that everything? Awesome. All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you guys for stopping by so much. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell. Yes, Joey, we will do SEI for you. If you're not in the Discord, join. The Discord is absolutely free. I'm going to start signaling more trades when I enter them, and we're going to probably do a breakout challenge soon. So if you're not in there, make sure you join in there. It costs you absolutely nothing. It's completely free. And yeah, let's look at SEI. Ooh, did SEI break what I wanted it to break yesterday? It broke it just now. So This is what we were waiting on for you yesterday, Joey. So, yeah, you broke 4 hour now. You look any sort of mitigation is a buy right now with structure. But we did set a nice one. So these kind of all look the same, right? So if you close a 1 hour candle above here, you have a new 1 hour strong low. You're bullish on the 4 hour. You're looking for a rotation back to the highs. That's like a 3-to-1 trade you can take. You need to take TP4. Oh, okay. Well, if you're already long, I'd set my TP here. Exit liquidity here. So like 32.50-ish. And then I'd wait for mitigation continuation. If you're not in a position yet, I would look for either entering on a 1 hour close above here, or similarly to everything else that we've been looking at, I'd wait for like a 5-minute market structure breakdown here. Write that up. That's what I see on SCI. Of course, Joey. No problem. All right, guys. Well, like I said, join the Discord pinned at the top of the chat. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. My name's Wave Cipher. Much love. Trade safe. Wave Cipher out. Love you guys.